Kusan City of Wolves is almost quite literally Hotline Miami. It's a stylish isometric action game with almost the exact same visual style and gameplay approach that the Hotline Miami games, some of my favorite games of all time, made popular when they debuted. Kusan has a very similar color palette even. Comparison is unavoidable, and that might not be such a bad thing in this case. But how does it hold up as a game? I've played a bit of City of Wolves, and I'm here to tell you. Let's go. While Kusan City of Wolves doesn't hide its Hotline Miami influence, the story and premise are slightly different. Kusan trades Hotline Miami's dark and violent story themes and atmosphere for something a little more Saturday morning cartoon in theme, but still, blood and killing. While the game's world also has Korean, cyberpunk, and maybe a bit of anime influence, the story surrounds a former soldier and detective. All the game's characters are humanoid animals, by the way, not just men in animal masks, working to save a powerful child with enough psychic energy to nuke an entire city if they went all DBZ on it, of course. Preventing this child from falling into the wrong hands is also a big part of the game from what I've played thus far. It's a much more safe story and vibe from what I've played in comparison to Hotline Miami's, Nick Refn-inspired pessimism and violence and contemplations of human life and human nature. While I love a lot about Kusan's style and approach, I wasn't a fan of the comic book panel-like storytelling, which kind of surprised me as I do like the idea in general. I think it may go back to the story and characters themselves just not clicking with me nearly as much as Hotline Miami, which, to be fair, is one of the gold standards for me and is essentially impossible to surpass, but I just had to say it. I see what they're doing, I like it, but I found myself just kind of wanting to get through the story aspect and just get to the gameplay. And while Kusan certainly does play a lot like Hotline Miami, it does have some elements that make it unique. Players get to power up the protagonist by upgrading him cyberpunk style, which gives him new abilities to utilize mission after mission. And it's because of this that, at least in the early game, you spend more time utilizing abilities like power punching, throwing and summoning a smart knife, and so on, than you do shooting guns, which are also featured in the gameplay. The cool thing about this is that your abilities and arsenal should keep evolving, and the player should grow more powerful as the game progresses, almost like an RPG. And while Kusan definitely has challenge to it, and it can be unforgiving like Hotline Miami, I had to try the levels multiple times to clear them, just like you had to clear floors in Hotline Miami. From what I've played at least, it doesn't feel quite as hardcore as the Hotline Miami game, which at the end of the day, some players might like. It's technically more approachable. In my case, that means it didn't quite put me in the adrenaline-fueled flow state that Hotline Miami did, but not everyone wants to try the same level over and over and over again until they finally nail it. Some people do. Kusan has some of that, but it doesn't feel quite as intimidating and daunting for whatever reason. With that said, I haven't finished the game, so maybe the difficulty will ramp up later, and depending on whether you just want something relaxing and stylish and cool to play, or if you want a challenge, you might feel differently depending on how Kusan unfolds. Well, I can't yet tell you if Kusan is going to be a certified must-play banger of a game. I do like a lot of its ideas, the style, the gameplay, and more. Ever since Denathan left us waiting after Hotline Miami 2, wrong number, where's your next game, guys? We all want to play it. I'm sure they're working hard. I've been hoping for something to come along and give me that same feeling again. While Kusan might not quite match Hotline Miami's genius in most categories, it's certainly doing a good job channeling it, and it's well worth keeping an eye on and adding to your wish list as its release date approaches. At the end of the day, if you're looking at this game and you think you're going to like it, you're probably going to like it. Trust that instinct. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. If you want more videos and content like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video if you want to tell the devs that you're interested in Kusan. Leave your thoughts and comments down below, and make sure you join me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Reynolds, where I stream all types of games, a lot of the same games that I cover on this channel, but other games as well. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for your support. Mayor Reynolds out.